without further ado, let's get this going, man. This is George Carlin saving the planet.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're going to save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit.
Yo, how dare you? How dare you?
Bro.
Yeah, when did this come out?
I only know when it's been uploaded, so that ain't Now, this uploaded 16 years ago.
I mean, it's wild because it's like the push, it feels like the push for like climate change is stronger now than it's ever been.
Wow, preach. I mean, don't preach on YouTube, but preach.
That's why I just stopped myself. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, YouTube, calm down. Calm down. He didn't say it. Got him. Dang. George Carlin. Why don't you say it, though? Yeah. George Carlin said it. You know what I mean? We just here, man. We watching the GOAT. One of the GOATs. Dude, it's so interesting how much information he puts in these, but it's still funny, Like, it's dope. I like it. Now, I'm not, like, going hysterical like I do with Matt Rife or Dave Chappelle, but This is in a format that I can enjoy. It reminds me of, and I would think that Joe Rogan gets a lot of inspiration from someone like him because this reminds me of Joe Rogan's style of comedy. So, I don't know.
Look at that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths.
Yo!
People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked.
Yes, that's the truth.
Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun.
Damn, I never even thought of it that way. That is kind of crazy.
You never thought of it that way?
Well, I guess I never even thought, like, you know what? I always just wonder where people come up with these numbers because I hear people like the planet is this old, and some people are like 4 billion, some people are like 400, some people are like it's 100,000. I'm like, how do we know?
Well, they date it, but it's everything he's saying is true because like when he says over 90, it's like over 99 point some percent, like 99.8% of creatures that have ever lived, animals, are extinct.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know that till he said that.
Yeah, and it's funny because like he's
knew.
talking about like, you know, us, you know, we're going to destroy the planet. It's like one of the mass extinctions they believe was caused by like bacterial blooms. And it released all this like carbon dioxide into the atmosphere or whatever and just like killed almost everything on the planet, just like algae.
Interesting.
The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet.
He's going hard on him.
The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash how the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii, who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room?
Damn, these chains.
The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our...
Yo, this dude is crazy. He's kind of flipping the script. You know me. I'd give him a little pushback. I'd be like, give us a little credit. But the planet is way... I understand what he's saying. I do understand what he's saying. We'll see. You know, anyways. What? What's
I mean, it's crazy because, you know, even just like certain things, like you said about, you know, discussing certain things on YouTube, you kind of got to tiptoe around it. I mean, they're already talking about how, you know, we went through the whole shebang with the pandemic and all of that,
2020,
right?
I just say 2020.
Yeah, the 2020, and them monitoring certain things that could and couldn't be said. And there are already people that are pushing to say, hey, we need to essentially monitor what people are saying about the climate. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, you have these climate activists throwing orange paint and like, you know, gluing themselves to artwork, right?
Yeah.
And then you have, this is what kills me, is that you have politicians, right? You have these people in government that are up there at the highest level talking about what we need to do to save the planet. And the answer is like in, you know, the UK right now, they've got those cameras up, right? And they're monitoring your driving, saying that, oh, the old granny who can't afford a new car, you know, we're going to fine her if she drives in this certain area or outside of this certain area. Meanwhile, you know what the number one, you know, polluting like activities that happen in recent times is?
What?
The blowing up of the Nord Stream pipeline.
I mean, dude, everything he's saying is correct.
So that's what kills me is that the government that's telling you that climate is, that the climate is a threat that's going to end civilization. The number one contributor is the military-industrial complex. Of
course.
So it's like, if you really cared about that, why are we doing all this ridiculousness? So that's all I'm going to say.
When I was saying give us a little more credit,
yeah,
I'm with him almost 100%. I believe that the human species, we evolve at a different rate than any other species. And if there is going to be a species that survives as long as the Earth, it will be our species. That's what I believe, and I believe it is possible. He's just like, well, we're going to get shaken off like fleas. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm just in a jokeful manner. He has a great point. He's not like another ice age, but we're kind of beast mode. We're prepared for a lot of different things.
I mean, we've always been beast mode.
We're like roaches. Like, have roaches been around forever? Like, that's what, you know what I'm saying? There's certain species that just thrive.
I bought into a lot of this climate nonsense. That's why I push back on some of this, because I fundamentally think that a lot of what the climate narrative is, it's nihilistic. It's a worldview that's without hope, that we are going to destroy this. And I think that we should be hopeful because, like you said, we've undergone so much. When he was talking about floods and blah, 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 and all this, we survived all that.
Dude,
we've survived it. They think the human population dwindled down to like 3,000 people at one point because of volcanoes, and everybody on the planet died except for 3,000 people, and that's what we're descended from. Right? So when you think about bouncing back from that to where we're at now, like, I personally am hopeful that we have the ability to reflect, to look at the mistakes that we're making and channel our energies in a new direction.
Yeah, man.
And I think a lot of the climate stuff is darkness. It's like, humans are a virus. They're a pestilence.
Yeah, it's a way
Don't
of
have
looking
babies.
At the glass is half
Take
empty.
your rights away.
Yeah. I feel that.
Age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. Assholes. So, the plastic is here. Our job is done. We can be phased out now. And I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with. And I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see. What might... Viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps
no comment, YouTube. No comment. We're just watching George Carlin.
Human immunodeficiency virus, making
we
them
love
vulnerable to
Pfizer.
all
We
sorts
support
of other
Pfizer, and
diseases
Pfizer we
infections
trust.
that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually, making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note. And it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? See, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He snapped. I do believe we're a part of nature, and nature is a part of us, and that a lot of times we try to play God. And it's interesting. It is interesting. That was crazy. I did not expect that from this title. Like, he went in so many different pockets, and it's funny because on YouTube we have to leave some of those pockets alone. And honestly, where the way YouTube is gone and some of these platforms, I'm surprised it's even on their platform.
Yeah,
because this has like 10 million views. So that's crazy.
I guess he gets a pass because he's one of the GOATs.
Hey, shout out to George Carlin. Now I'm here for it. I like seeing this type of stuff. I just didn't know I didn't know his stance on a bunch of things, and he went ham. He's a G for real, a real G with a George.
It's funny because we haven't even done his classic that kind of blew him up.
What was his classic?
The cuss words. Have you seen that one?
I don't even know what that is. No.
That's like one of the things that like blew him up is just like these certain words that you can't say on air, right? And that's totally up our alley. It'll probably get demonetized because it's just straight vulgarity, but you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. All right, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know, should we still rock with some more George Carlin on the channel? What did we get? What did we miss? And we out of here, y'all. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ, boy.